Salutations gamers, I'm the OgichiGame, and today I'm going to be talking about, drama on YouTube, because, I don't know, everyone else has talked about it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Mostly it's just, I said I would, and I figured, you know what, because this has gotten to be such a big deal in recent moments, I figured, might as well address the issue at least once, but I don't really plan on addressing these issues much in the future, but I'm going to be talking about this issue. Now, if you don't know what I'm referring to in saying that I said that I was going to be doing this video, there is a video called, ridiculously titled, How to Make Money Off That YouTube Dramas. That's the video, right? If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link somewhere on screen for you to click on. Just click on that, and you'll be able to see the video. That's a very satirical video, and I figured, to balance things out, I would do a more serious video addressing the issue. Now, there has been, really, I would suppose, say, two sides to this argument. One side is basically saying that drama, period, is bad. The other side is kind of defending it, and then I suppose in some ways there is a side in the middle. Now, the side kind of defending it is usually the ones that are the worst about it, and the ones in the middle are somewhat defending it, but also kind of fighting against both sides in a way, and I kind of stand maybe on that side of it. Now, let me actually address what's going on here, and why this sort of this stuff is happening. So, if you don't know, and I'm actually going to be using names, I'm not going to hold back. I'm actually going to use some names here and actually mention some people in this whole situation. So basically, this all sort of started a bunch of YouTube saying like, oh, drama is bad or drama is good or this or that, or it became a really big deal the moment that Markiplier, PewDiePie, mostly those two. There were some others that have made videos, but mostly those two made a couple videos related to it, saying, like, drama's bad, kind of vaguely rambling, and people took that like and went off in a fiery hailstorm of death against anything that they considered to be drama in any sense of the word. And the reason that those videos, as well as a number of other videos similar to them, were made was basically originally in response to the rape allegations made against Toby Turner, and I'm actually going to be talking about that. Whether or not you like it, I'm going to give some opinion on it, because, I feel it's kind of, it's kind of wrong of them to talk about the YouTube drama without addressing the reason why they're really making the video. Now, of course, I know that PewDiePie and Markiplier were also accused of some other things as well, and I'll get to that, and that's sort of also why they made the videos, but it was mostly the Toby Turner rape allegations which led to this whole sort of massive event, which is sort of kind of dying down now, which is good. I don't really want to have a big backlash or anything. I don't really want to add or really take away anything. I just want to kind of give my sort of opinion on it, because I feel there are some people on this channel who, at the very least, would like to have some understanding of how I think about this. Now, let's start at the beginning. So with Toby Turner and his rape allegations, what do I think about that? Now, in terms of Toby Turner, I don't know anything about Toby Turner. I mean, the best any of us know about him is what we see on his internet persona, and what does that tell us? Nothing. It tells us really nothing. His internet persona is not really who he is. There's a difference between the content creators themselves and the characters that they really play. And I am saying characters that they play because no matter how many times a YouTuber has told you, like, oh, this is me in real life, that's pretty popular among a lot of the Let's Players, and one of the reasons that they say that really is sort of it makes them more sort of approachable in that sort of way and makes them seem nicer and stuff. And I'm not saying that any of these people are mean people. They're probably nice people, but there is a significant difference between the way they act on camera versus the way they act in person. Because, on camera or behind a microphone, in my case, you have this mindset, like you have a particular mindset saying like, oh, well, I need to have some sort of like something that's not 100% you, or even if it really is you, it's sort of more of an exaggerated you, or this or that way, Sometimes it could be just a character that you play, which is the case with some YouTubers. I don't really play... I kind of play a character myself, but not really. Mostly I just kind of bump up my energy a bit, you know. The kind of humor that I'm playing is the kind of humor that I would use in everyday sort of speech, but I don't talk, in general, not nearly as much as I would talk in, say, my Let's Play videos or that sort of stuff. I am not that extremely bombastic all the time. There are moments where I am pretty bombastic like that, but not nearly as so, because, well, it would really wear me down to be like that 24/7, and I do it for videos for entertainment purposes. So, in terms of Toby Turner being a bad person or whatever, I don't know, because I don't know Toby Turner in person. I don't know him. And some people say, oh, I've seen him at like a convention and he acted like this or that or whatever. It's like, seeing him at a convention, that doesn't really tell you a whole lot either, you know, because they could just be having a bad day, you know. Do you really know somebody? And I don't like to make any kind of, you know, any kind of assumptions about anyone that I really don't know. I don't like that. I don't like to do that. It's wrong, and you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't just make assumptions about people, because you know what assuming gets you. That's right. It makes an a-hole out of you and me, is what it does. Don't assume things. But, or at least don't assume things about people. Now, let's actually get into the meat of it, though, the rape allegations, which brought all of this sort of hellstorm onto the YouTube frontier. Now, what do I think about the rape allegations themselves? Now, obviously, rape, worst possible crime in a lot of people's minds. Yeah, I suppose I'd just leave it there. Yeah, worst possible crime. A lot of people, you know, would say that. There are some, you know, I say a lot of people because there are some who would argue otherwise, but a lot of people think, you know, rape, one of the worst possible crimes, and I agree. Horrible crime. In fact, I myself was a victim, as well as victims of sexual crime sort of thing. I'm not going to go into details with it, but we both of us are, here at OgichiGame Studios, so, you know, we can relate. It's a horrible crime. It's a horrible thing for anyone to ever have to deal with. I don't wish it upon anyone to ever have to deal with that, or even, like, people who just know somebody who's been affected by that, the stress that you'd probably have to deal with, you know, trying to help that person if you did know, is just awful. It's a horrible thing all the way around. Horrible. It's the worst. It's the worst on a lot of people, which is why it's important to know, well, was it true? And you probably know where I'm going with this. The rape allegations, keep in mind, allegations are just allegations. It means somebody said something. It means it means me or whoever. It means somebody said something, they accused you of something. Doesn't mean it's true. And in a court of law and how the law system works, unless you can prove it, it never happened. Period. It just didn't happen. And my problem is, again, I don't know Toby myself, and I don't know this girl who made this post, but there are some significant problems that I have regarding this whole situation. And again, this is sort of dying down a little bit now, but it's still kind of relevant, and I just wanted to, you know, talk about this with Toby Turner, right, and these rape allegations. I'm not 100% sure on how long, again, this girl, one thing that I find sketchy is that she's been changing her story a number of times. That's never good. Never good. But she basically made a whole Tumblr post talking about, like, oh, well, this happened and he raped me and he abused me and he like, used drugs on me and other things like that, right? And again, I don't know that he 100% did it. I don't know 100% that he didn't do it. But what I do know is there's no real evidence to support any of this. The best that has come forward was just some text that she said was supposedly from Toby Turner. And the problem there is that honestly would be laughed out of a court because anyone, a 5-year-old, could have easily faked that. All you need is one friend to text you some stuff that you tell them to text you, and then you kind of reply and do this, and you just put their name as something different in your contacts list or something, and then just take some screenshots of that and say it was this person. It's so easy to just fake that evidence. That isn't even really evidence. That would be 100% laughed out of a court. It's not evidence. It's not evidence. It's not anything to support the allegations. And so what sort of happens if this was something that was actually brought to court? Now, again, another thing that I find skeptical is it was never brought to court. She never brought it up in court, right? She never brought this to the police or anyone else. And I do understand that with rape and other, like, sexual abuse and that sort of things, when these sort of things happen, you are not liable to go to somebody you don't really want to talk about it. You feel violated. There's a lot of things, a lot of emotions, none of them really good. And it's difficult for you to talk about it, but when you do talk about it, if you really wanted to get back at the person, you need to go to the police. You need to go to the police. You need to file this report. You need to do something through the legal system and try to get whoever it was. Right? Otherwise, I mean, what's really even the point? What's really even the point if you can't get this through the legal process and get this person into a prison, some kind of prison somewhere, something like that? It's a little sketchy to me that after this time, she finally comes forward and she just makes a Tumblr post about it. And Tumblr, in my mind, has never been something that I would consider to be a very reliable reliable source of any form of information. And, of course, I don't think that this story was in any way taken seriously at the beginning. Because, I mean, again, it was just a Tumblr post. What does that mean? There's been probably plenty of rape allegations and other allegations made on places like Tumblr, or maybe even Reddit or other places, but what do those even mean? They really don't mean anything. They really don't, because with a lot of these, including the one that was made by this girl, there was no sort of evidence given except for the text, which could very, very easily, I'm not saying that they were, but I'm saying they could easily be falsified. Very easily they could have been falsified. So, there's no evidence, really, none to speak of, no evidence to support this, or at least not that I know of. Perhaps something has come up that I am unaware of. I haven't kept 100% tabs on this because, well, not really my business, and I don't overly care that much either, because it's not my business, so I don't keep too many tabs on it, so maybe something has come up. But why did this post gain the traction that it did in the first place? Well, bring in Keemstar, or Drama Alert Nation, and that's really where this sort of thing got blown way up, and this whole sort of drama with Tobuscus happened, and then a bunch of girls were coming out like, oh yeah, he raped me too, or whatever, Again, none of them with any kind of evidence whatsoever to support these claims. They're just saying it online, saying whatever. And people are eating it up because people see rape as such a horrible thing, and it is such a horrible thing. It should not be taken lightly. But at the same time, just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's true, and you shouldn't just blindly accept what they say as being true just because. And sometime after this, of course, PewDiePie and Markiplier and a bunch of others were not accused of rape, but they were accused of some other things, and at this point, this is basically where the YouTubers, these popular YouTubers like Markiplier and PewDiePie, put out these drama videos, basically blanket statements saying that all drama is bad. And if you haven't seen Grade A Underage video, which actually came out, interestingly enough, before I went to record this video, as you probably know, he basically said the exact 100% problem that they had with those videos is they simply had a blanket statement over all of it. And I understand why they had that blanket statement, because they really didn't sit down and formulate their thoughts into something coherent, and so in their sort of just kind of, I wouldn't say outrage, but in a way it's sort of an outrage. They just made a blanket statement against all drama in any form, any case, and Grade A actually put this in a really, really good way. I actually would recommend that you would see his video. In fact, he basically pointed out that really drama, the problem with drama is not just that they made this blanket statement about drama, but the problem is drama is sort of a blanket statement in itself anyway, because things like rape allegations are considered drama, and, criticizing YouTube on, problems with the system is also considered drama. It's all considered drama. It's not considered different types of drama, just drama. And so, the saying drama was a blanket statement, but drama in itself is a blanket statement, and it's kind of confusing. And people just sort of, after this blanket statement was made by a lot of these popular YouTubers, they went out and just anyone who they even remotely considered anything to do with drama attacked them viciously. And that's why Grade A Under A got upset, and a number of other people got upset, because they got a bunch of hate that they really, honestly and truly, didn't deserve. Honestly and truly did not deserve the hate that a lot of the people that got hate got, Which is a problem. They should have sat down and really formulated their thoughts better. But what do I really think about all this? I don't 100% know. Again, I don't honestly believe that the rape allegations against Toby Turner, based on the evidence, there really is no evidence. None that I have seen that would make me believe without a shadow of a doubt that any kind of rape happened. And the fact, I also forgot to mention this. In this sort of situation, if this was actually brought to court, where she, accused Toby of rape, what would have happened is, with the lack of evidence, it would have either been thrown out of the court, or if it stayed in the court, what they would have done is try to get somebody to lie. And the first person to lie, that's usually the person that you say, well, you lied, so we can't trust you, we're going with the other person on this. And, as I stated before, the girl has changed her story a number of times. So that right there is, well, you change the story, pretty much that's lying, So, one, the lack of evidence, and two, you change the story, so that's lying. We can't really trust your word anymore, so we're gonna have to throw out your accusation. That's kind of how it works. If you don't like how that works, well, I'm sorry, but that's just how the law system works, and I trust that's the best law system that we can have. That is the best law system that we can have, because I read a comment one time, which I thought was great, which was, it simply said, it's better to let a criminal run free to catch him another day than to let an innocent man rot behind bars for the rest of his life for the crime of someone else. So yes, I do agree with that law system, and if Toby is a rapist, I'm sure evidence will come out eventually. If he really is. And if he is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If it does come out that he truly is a rapist, if he's convicted of that crime, I'm sorry. If the evidence actually does come out to support that, then I'm sorry. But, as it stands, the evidence, it's not there, and the fact that she changed her story makes me distrust her. And so, in terms of that, I don't believe her. I think this is mostly just, I think this is all just an act to get attention. I think that's all she really wants. She wants attention, and she's getting it. Good or bad, she's getting it. Now, what I think about the rest of this, honestly, I feel as though anything that I really try to say about the rest of this would be just kind of citing things that Grade A Under A said. He had a lot of good points. So again, I would highly recommend go check out Grade A Under A's video. That was a good video. Amazing video. Really, really pointed out a lot of the YouTube sort of drama space. And how, he said, YouTube drama, honestly, you cannot stop it. It's going to happen, period, because people are going to have disagreements. And two, the drama itself isn't really all that big a deal among the YouTubers themselves. Where it boils down to is the community. And I'm sorry, guys. Now, I don't know if any of my community so far has been great. Of course, I have a small community, and I can, monitor. I can see the whole of everyone here. But bigger YouTubers, they don't have that luxury. And so, with their communities, there's a lot of, people that just blow this stuff out of proportion, and they take one thing somebody says. If they say one thing against somebody else, they blow it way out of proportion, and suddenly it's a war of fans fighting against each other. And honestly, that needs to stop. But yes, this is kind of rambly, I think. Perhaps I should have sat down and formulated a sort of a script for this sort of video, but I think I made all the points I wanted to make. I think so anyway. So I hope I don't have to make any more videos related to this topic, but I just wanted to make the one just so we're all clear on the whole issue. So anyway, I'm going to end the episode. So if you guys like this video, make sure to hit like on it. Otherwise, I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.